Would I have spent 4 mana there to get all my dudes back? Yes. Or we just stick with the Shambler. I like this idea. I don't know about Shambler in general in this deck. Also, the Oasis I've yet to tutor up, and somebody suggested... I was going to put my Mox Monkey in here. Grieville. Tranquil Path. Serene Heart. I like this that it's also a creature. That's also a lot more mana though. Tranquil Path. I have looked at Wickerbow Elder. I was going to run a Wickerbow Melfina. This one's... Oh, this one's not bad. Like, when we have our Lumberjack starts, this is actually exactly what we get to. This one's nice, actually. I actually really like that idea. 5 mana's not crazy for us. We're going to, like, 8, so... Yeah, I'm not sure about the Search for Tomorrows anymore in this list. We might want to look into just more creatures for the Devotion. A really grindy card that I kind of miss using. One of the initial builds not only had more mandrills, but it also had, what did it have? Essence Filter. Yeah, I mean, Explore is an option. That's a cantrip that also ramps. Or you could run, this is one of my favorite pet cards back in the day when I maybe had an interest in green. I don't really anymore, but hang on. Oh, it's Sacrifice Land, excuse me. Cycle Sacrifice. I should really get out my phone. I had a lot of the ideas for this deck on my phone. My notes, not Decree either. Hang on. Edge. And we have a couple lands that don't mean anything, like Depths and Sajiri. After they've used up their ability, you would just sacrifice them to Edge. I've always liked Edge of Autumn SketchUp. I like that its cycle ability is really just mana efficient, just really, or not necessarily mana efficient because you gave up a land, but do you want to play against your new Pauper deck? I don't see why not. I've always liked Edge. Explore is an option, or just more creatures that do what Wayfarer does, like Elvish. Hang on. The problem with Elvish Pioneers, I think it's basic land, right? Yeah, that's the problem with Pioneer. Pioneer is another form of this type of turn 1 ramp that I'm looking for, that lets us do the double plays of immediately, like, Orcish Lumbering. I was supposed to test the Pioneer, though. The problem with Pioneer is that it's basic land, so there might be some hands where it doesn't work. Like, how many basics would you have to run before the Pioneer always works? We're running... Let's see how many basics I'm running. 15? So maybe if we bump that to 16, we can get away with something like Pioneer. Bogles is actually a deck. I believe that. Run a Reverent Silence. I was supposed to test the Pioneer. Alright, Reverent Silence. Yeah, Melfina, you're not wrong, though. That might be the best card than Nantuko. Oh, I have a Reverent Silence. There you go. That seems even better. What about the Snake one? Lets you tap, put it into land, play. Yeah, you could run that one as well instead of the Pioneer. That one doesn't do it till turn 2, though. Amy wants to know how we're going to win, though. Big dudes. Splicer, Grinder, Ogre, Crushers, Mandrills. You empath into whatever the appropriate win condition is. Yeah, that's all it is, Amy. Just big creatures fast. That's pretty much the deck. I mean, I was a 26 land deck when I first conceived this, because you just had to have a certain amount of land to even consider winning. I would want to run more basic lands than I have been if I'm going to run Pioneer. Sabotage is just the best. It fights counter magic. Otherwise, Tranquility would be a good sideboard. Gleeful Sabotage is still really good because it fights counter magic. Okay. I'll get one then. So you like Sabotage? I mean, if I've just totally missed the mark on what Pauper, at least on Magic Online, is doing, we don't need this playset of Disciple. We could run like a 2 of Silence, a 2 of Sabotage. Or maybe like this. Like, if I just missed the mark... Spring Cleaning. Yeah, if I miss the mark, then we shouldn't be running Disciples. Destroy Clash. If I win, destroy all. We might not win the Clash, though. At least this one also hits artifacts, so we can run a 2 of. Keep the 1 of Grudge. Keep the Shaman. Harrow is risky. So is Crop Rotation. If Crop Rotation gets countered, you're very sad. But it's also a form of 1 mana ramp for us because we turn a forest basically into Needle or Woodlot. I mean, maybe I was wrong about the Disciples. Maybe there's a better way for us to gain a bunch of life. Somebody wanted me to run Brindleshoot. There's also, hang on. I had another creature that I was going to run against Burn. Grazing Gladeheart is an option. Martyr of Ashes, but we don't have enough red for that. Another option is, I'm looking at a list, by the way, I'm not texting or anything, I'm just looking for my list, but Hull Breach is cool, Firebolt's actually really expensive. Devoted Druid is another form of ramp that's interesting. Dead and Gone is fun. Run Sylvic Lifestaff. That's good on the Wayfarers. It doesn't do anything on the Pioneer. Pioneer doesn't get sacrificed. But Pioneer's also only basic lands. Yeah, like Lifestaff on Wayfarer seems like a wombo combo. Lifestaff could be fun. Okay. Flame Slash is an option. I wish there were more Awaken cards besides the Boiling Earth. I feel like Awaken is something this deck really gets to enjoy because this just kills all their dudes, it doesn't kill our own, and then we also, let me look at the ones available for Pauper. The only other one I think that we can use in this deck is the one, unfortunately, that just gives you a bunch of 1/1 counters, right? I think it's just Earth and Arms, yeah. That's not all that exciting. I feel like just Boiling Earth is where you want to be. I just like some number of life gain creatures, says Amy. Yeah, I mean, I liked them. There was another creature I was going to run, and it was, let's see. What the heck was it called? It was like a gain 3 life creature. I mean, if blue is so popular, you can run Outlander. If blue is a really popular strategy. Airy Oafs, I think, was the card. Wasn't that the one? Outlander, Spice, and Goblin Commando is Spice. What else? I think it's Oafs. Yeah, you can run Brittlebore. No, this wasn't it either. No. Oh, this is neat against Flyers. That's not the card I was thinking of, though. I was thinking of, I mean, this is so specific, I don't know if you'd want something like that. If blue is really popular, though, I might want some number. God, what is the name of that card? It's like a green-white creature, gain life when it dies. It's like the bad side of a Kitchen Finks. Pretty sure it was CMC3. Which is faster than the devotion creature as well. Obviously, the devotion creature is better in multiples, but that also would take up a lot more of our sideboard. Yeah, so you've got Brittle Bore, or you could run this. I was thinking of Safeguard. Well, it's one less life, but you have to sacrifice 4 to gain the life, whereas this blocks and then dies and gains you life. Run Decree. I was thinking something like Safeguard if I'm not going to run the Nylea's. I think Nylea's has a higher ceiling, though. This body's also worse. There's a 3/3 end of the battlefield, gain 3 for 3. What's the name of it, Bill Nye? I was also thinking Gladeheart. Centaur healers in white. This isn't bad in our deck. Get back a creature or land, gain 6. This card's interesting. We have a lot of big creatures. Time to feed. Interesting. Miltani's Decree, you gain life and destroy all enchantments. Safeguard gives life on death. I want to run this over the Reverend, though. Pulse of Marasa. Yeah, I mean, Pulse was value and life gain. Wouldn't Feed the Clan be best? Feed the Clan means I already have to have the big creature out, though, Amp. I'm not always going to have a 4-power creature or higher. We'd already have to have kind of powered out a big threat before this is good. The Pulse of Marasa, although 1 more mana than Feed, at least the nice thing about this is it gets me back a dude or land. Which, honestly, I'm going through our mana pretty quickly. I'm going through these depletion lands pretty fast. I mean, with the addition of Pioneers, we're more likely to have a creature to enjoy the devotion on Nylea's Disciples. I didn't hate the Disciples. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's where we want to go. Game 5 is still fine. I mean, I liked the playset of Disciple. I feel like that's grindy. I did like this. I don't know if I'm ready to let go of that just yet. I like that they're also decent. No. Fangren is an option. We talked about Fangren Dugong. Fangren Mauler, specifically against opponents. But the problem is the Fangren doesn't actually remove the... Yeah, this guy... The problem with Fangren... Okay, so we're spending 6 mana for a 5/5. That's great. We also have to be removing their artifacts. Unless there's like a big... Is like Affinity... I mean, like, there's no cranial plating. But our artifact deck's still like a big deal to do. Pulse is instant. It's true. I mean, I liked this. I felt like we're ramping into these. This seemed fine. Fox's Affinity is a thing, and it attacks artifacts to a Tog. I think the Outlander's too cute, and I don't know if we want to try the Silence. Same with the Life Staff.